We OG, Ordinal G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Runes is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, is my guy for real, bro? Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, like it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nookies on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me. Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. With Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What's up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We're live for another Ordinal hour, and this one is going to be better than the Bitcoin downtrend. Nah, I'm just kidding. We are at prices that we haven't seen since 2 days ago, guys. It is dramatic drop in price. Nah, man, it's a good week. 88,000. If I would have told you on Friday, yo, we're going to be dipping to 88,000 on Thursday, you'd be like, what? We're at like 60. Yeah, because it's been that type of weekend and week, guys. It's been fun. It's been exciting. Let's not let the little bit of red ruin our week, right? It's going to be awesome weekly candle. It's going to be a great dot on the chart in November. And that's just if we stay here. But I think, and Yagobi thinks, we think we're going to have a really good November. And it doesn't stop here. But if it does, I mean, December is going to be absolutely amazing. January is going to be even better. And 2025 is going to be our year. We got some really good news right now that's coming out, and it's looking that way. And guys, we've been having meetings with people who are dropping runes this month, and they're talking to us this month about runes they're dropping later. And I don't think we're bullish enough on runes. And I personally wasn't bullish enough on runes. And I feel like that's changing right now. I'm getting really bullish on utility runes. So me and Yagobi, we're going to break down which runes are coming, which utilities you should be looking out for, and what are those utilities, right? So we're going to get into all that stuff. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. So without further ado, let's get the show started. Bring my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's up,
man? So how are you doing with this just red day?
I'm doing okay. I'm really kind of look, like you said, if you were to tell us, hey, we're gonna have a decent sized pullback and that's gonna bring us to 88K, I would say, what are you talking about? Last week, I think I was questioning if we could break 80,000 last Thursday. So I think this is a very strong week. We can take that win regardless of where Bitcoin heads next, because it touched 93,000, and our goal, or at least my goal in my mind, was 100K before the end of the year. I think we passed that now. So,
yeah, 100%. I agree. This really isn't as bad as people feel. Like I'm going through my timeline and people just seem bearish, and it's really weird to me. I'm just like, guys, we're at 88,000 in 2024. Like, relax. Like, it's been an amazing year. You got to remember, January we were at 30K. Right. January, we didn't have ETFs. In January, we didn't know you were going to have a 6-month sideways You know what I mean? From April till October. So I mean, and now in November we're up, but it's been a really really good month, and I think people need to take a step back, zoom out of your 5 minute chart, zoom out of your 15-minute chart, and get into the weekly, get into the daily, because that's where you're gonna see and you're gonna smile. You're gonna be happy that you're here right now.
Yeah, exactly. Just zoom out a bit, and we still have December, which is the most aggressive month for the Q4 halving year, right? So
Yeah.
that's why I think we're gonna surpass the $100,000 goal of an all-time high for this year. So I'm excited for it. The one thing that we got to pay attention to is Bitcoin dominance. I haven't been paying attention too much to it, but I am definitely going to start, because as that goes down, the Bitcoin ecosystem assets can really be hyper aggressive along with the alt market.
Yeah, I agree. All right, first piece of news here. The biggest thing I've ever seen. President Trump wants to eliminate all capital gain taxes on cryptocurrencies issued by U.S. companies. What does that mean? That basically means that if you are a company you're based in the U.S., Polymarket, for instance, if they drop a token, ADA, XRP, the companies that are based in the U.S., if you make gains on their tokens, you pay no taxes, pay zero taxes. What does that do, Yagobi? What does that do for other companies that are kind of like on the outside of the US looking in?
Maybe we should move our headquarters to the U.S. because it's a huge incentive for the holder, right? I
Yeah.
mean, zero taxes, right, on gains that you make from these crypto tokens, right? So it gives them an incentive of wanting to buy and hold your token. So we might see some of that. I'm not sure. Obviously, I think it's going to have to be, a bill get passed or whatever needs to happen for it to go into law. But I think this is huge for U.S. innovation in the space. I think this is really smart because it's going to keep people here now that we're thinking about moving to Dubai or Singapore to start a business, right? That plus the friendly regulation that's most likely to come is just going to be a really big bonus and booster for innovation in the US. So
Yeah, think of it this way too. It's not just the holder. A lot of times, a lot of these teams they get team allocations, so the entire team's pay is not taxed.
yeah.
That's you know what I mean? It's kinda like, yeah, so you could just start a company and not pay any taxes, but, I mean, that's a really huge incentive for countries that are building on the Virgin Islands or, building on these outskirts, kinda like SBF did, he was just outside the US, right? On the I think it was about the Bahamas. So it's like, those companies now are incentivized to bring their workers and everything onshore, which is gonna create more jobs. And
Yeah.
we feel like crypto is gonna create the most jobs. Well, in my opinion, I'm not gonna put words in your mouth, but I feel like it's gonna give the most jobs that out of anything right now.
Yeah, we're going to see more new millionaires and eventually billionaires as well. So new figureheads in this innovative space. We'll see something similar to the new version of Google and Amazon and et cetera, right? So having friendly regulation is just such a plus in the US because the US has the biggest, largest talent pool. It has for some time now, but we've closed that off to our industry. And so
Yeah.
now we're opening that back up. And so you won't have to really put like headquarters in the Virgin Islands anymore or anything like that. Just
Yeah.
kind of get around things. Now you can just wherever you're located in the U.S. And the tax thing, I think that's huge because sometimes people move to states like Texas or Florida because there's no state income tax. Now you're talking about federal, right? So if you are a team or an employee and you get paid in that token, that's going to be very, very interesting how that works out. I'm sure they're going to have to figure it out, but if they keep
And
it this way.
think about that. That incentivizes you to hold as well. Like, let's just say I gave you a token at 10 cents, right? And so you only pay taxes from what I gave you, right? Because you received a payment. So you'll pay taxes on that payment. But then if you hold that to $9, you're not paying taxes from 10 cents to $9. Like, you know what I mean? Like that would be considered capital gains tax. And that's insane to me. Like that'll give more people more reason to hold these tokens.
Yeah. It's like the opposite side of the spectrum of what
Yeah.
could have happened seems to be what's going to happen. So
Yep.
they were thinking about taxing unrealized gains if Harris won, and now
Yeah.
we're like not even taxing U.S. tokens, right? So
Capital gains, yeah.
yeah, so it's a huge bullish indicator in my opinion if this plays out the way that they're saying.
Yeah, so this would ultimately make all profits Americans make on holding crypto assets fully tax-free if the projects are in U.S. companies. Absolutely insane. And then you have countries like UK, their government to unveil crypto regulation plans focusing on stablecoins and staking. Staking. Startups are eyeing U.S. crypto benefits under Trump's leadership as UK faces pressure for clarity. So again, monkey see, monkey do. Everyone's kind of looking at the U.S. to go first. And if Trump's coming out and saying this, they want to front run him, right? So you're not only going to see, the US get real crypto friendly, you're going to see the world get crypto friendly, in the UK starting with that.
Yep. And UK was, I feel like they've always been kind of lukewarm in terms of how they feel about crypto. Like they
Yeah.
say they want to be friendly to it. I think they're really, counting on the CBDC side of things. And then now with Trump winning the election and being really friendly here in the US with the crypto industry, I think they're starting to relax as well. Right. So
Yeah.
already using verbiage like staking, which is something was a no pretty much before,
Yeah.
right? So this is bullish as well. So we'll see what other countries come on board that were a little bit tighter, maybe with what the regulation they were going to put together was. But I do expect to see more kind of loosening of the reins here.
Yeah, we were talking to Jake and Adam last night. A video will be out later today for Emblem Vault, but they basically said, like, with Cobalt, the problem was they couldn't stake and they couldn't burn because they were
Yep.
looking at us as a security if you did that. And this changes everything. This changes absolutely everything. It's insane.
100%. 100%. One of the things they said, and you'll see it in the video, was talking about Uniswap and how Uniswap has, for a very long time, wanted to do some sort of revenue share with their holders.
Yeah.
And they couldn't because it would make it an automatic security. Guys, that kind of stuff is coming. So I'm excited about that, right? So if you're a regular person or you've been paying attention to the crypto industry, Bitcoin ecosystem for the past, I don't know, let's say 4 years, 6 years. So last cycle and stuff, you already have the knowledge before all these newbies coming, these normies come in, and this revenue share model with successful businesses, dude, that's like that.
Yeah.
This is new.
100%. I agree. Next thing here. So BlackRock Spot Bitcoin ETF did $5 billion in trading volume yesterday for the first time ever. Total spot ETF volume was 7.4. So that's all the ETFs combined. But it just shows you if BlackRock had a dominance thing, they would be like 40-50% of the BlackRock ETF. I guarantee you Larry Fink knew that was going to happen. But it's pretty insane. $7.4 billion in volume for Bitcoin on an ETF. Like, this is technically paper traded Bitcoin that is just being like back and forth. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, they knew that there was a strong possibility of how the election would go.
Yeah.
They pushed for Bitcoin ETF in the beginning of this year. So it's like they kind of were 2 steps ahead of everybody, right? And so I'm not surprised that, there's going to be different ways they have to make revenue now because, like I said, probably no more wars for a while. And so this is one of the ways. I think they were hedging their bets with Bitcoin, and it was a very, very smart move. And their leadership is really smart. You don't become a $12 trillion fund manager overnight and with dumb leadership. So,
yeah, yep. Okay, so we got into the good stuff. Let's get into the ugly stuff. FBI has reportedly seized Polymarket CEO's phone and electronics. A few hours afterwards, we get this amazing tweet from the founder. He says, new phone? Who dis?
love it.
But yeah, so this kid, Shane Copeland, he's like 26 years old, CEO of Polymarket. It's been in Ethereum since 2014. So pretty much when he was 16 years old, he got into Ethereum. He loves art, music. So this is the CEO. And then he put out this tweet here afterwards. He said, it's discouraging that the current administration would seek a last-ditch effort to go after companies they deem to be associated with political opponents. We are deeply committed to being nonpartisan, and today is no different. But the incumbents should do some self-reflecting and recognize that taking a more pro-business, pro startup approach may be what would have changed their fate in this election. Polymarket has provided value to tens of millions of people this election cycle while causing harm to nobody. We're deeply proud of that. I'm also proud to say that the future of America, and particular American entrepreneurship, has never been brighter. In the face of adversity, we build. I love it. I love this kid. He's awesome.
Yeah. Yep. And that's kind of how the entire industry has felt, right?
Yeah.
And it was a sigh of relief after this election had been finalized that our industry feels like, okay, wow, we can actually innovate here now. We can build, because there would be so much more innovation already had
Yeah.
regulation kicked in 4 years ago or 6 years ago, right? But that's okay because we have the talent to catch up. And I think that's going to happen. And he kind of broke that down. Polymarket is a platform in the Web3 space that doesn't have a token. He literally focused on utility from day one. So there's going to be some of these type of projects that are new, innovative, that come out of the Bitcoin ecosystem, and we'll hear about them being successful. I think he's going to be like 100 millionaire type of person, eventually possibly a billionaire, and we're going to have some of those founders from our ecosystem that will be highlighted, I would say, probably heading into the bear or before the next bull market as well.
Yeah, and the best part about Polymarket is it's smart contracts, right? So even if they took the site down, you would still be able to, use those smart contracts. Another platform would come up using those same smart contracts, and it would keep going. There's no stopping it, right? So that's the power of crypto. That's the power of something like this. Is like even if they hate it, they can't do anything about it. So it's better to regulate it and use it for for freedom of speech. I mean, for instance, like the reason why the Democrats are mad is because they were giving us fake poll results and Polymarket was giving us the real ones.
Yeah.
Right. So
or horrible
that's 100%.
poll results, we could say.
No, they were fake. They were obviously fake. You can't be like 70-30 and then the polls be 50-50. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't know what to think though, because this is the first election that we've had Polymarket, or at least to where we used it and the masses did. The accuracy on it was nuts, right? It was very, very nuts. Each electoral state, I mean, they got every state right. Every state was correct on that. So I'll tell you, I'm gonna start using Polymarket maybe for some like sports betting or something, just to kind of see what people are thinking. Yeah. Right. So it's gonna be interesting.
The problem with that is though the bet will change for sports betting unless you take money line, right? So
yeah, but
that's like
exactly money line. Like for example, it could give you a good tip for the underdog on a money line, right? And so BetBTC is obviously growing in the Bitcoin ecosystem, and they're going to be more than just a predictions market. But who knows? They might add like a sports side for research and stuff as well. But I'm excited because of the innovation possibilities that we're going to see across the board in crypto, but our space specifically, because our ecosystem is in like a renaissance period. So innovation there, and then also teams are going to try to solve pain points as well.
100%. And real quick on the note of BetBTC, like I just want to show something real quick. I just want to shout out somebody. PJNZ has officially took me in the top spot here. And look, he only put $62 in. So it's not like
separate bets.
62. He took 62 bets for $1. He used my advice, and now he is number one, guys. And the best part, he has a Bitcoin Ordinal Revolution OG pass as his his image here. Shout out PJNZ. Shout out all you guys. Look, our community is running this shit. We got Tim Baker in the 3 spot. We got Ethereum Dad in the 4 spot. I'm not sure if Mr. M is a community member. He might be going by a different name in the chat, but I think he is for some reason. And then you have on page 2, it's you guys are just everywhere. You got Chief Axel, you got I Walk Alone, you have Asher.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. And then I know there's more. There's a bunch more. You guys, man, you guys are just killing it. Let's get everyone on the first page though. All you guys put in a couple bucks and just get in the first page. It's not going to cost you much. Look at PJNZ, $62 put him in first place.
He's airdrop hunting, baby.
Yeah, there you go, PJNZ, man. I hope he's in the roll call today.
Speaking of utility runes, we'll get in that later, but
yes, 100%. I got a few more things, and then we'll get into maybe I don't have a few more things. Okay, yeah, I do. So Coinbase just flipped Facebook, YouTube, and Telegram to become the number 10 app in the US App Store. Retail is here. Retail is coming. They're not in by the masses yet, but they're definitely here.
Yeah, they've trickled in, right? But
Yeah.
I think they're more the stock versus where we are, right? That
Yeah.
will happen, I think, in the spring. We'll see a little bit come in my opinion, in December, and the inauguration and change of guard and all that stuff is going to be a little I guess like uncertainty. We'll probably have a cool off period for January, February, and then explosion end of March, maybe end of April. I think retail
I
wise.
agree. You so when do you see Coinbase number 1? Next year or this year?
Number 1, I think it's gonna be. I don't know, man. You said they're number 5 now, right?
10.
Oh, they're number 10. Okay, so they could definitely hit it in the spring, but for sure by winter of 2025.
Yeah, 100%. All right. Tether mints another 2 billion USDT, totaling 7 billion in the last 6 days. This is not normal for them. They usually average between 500,000 and 500 million and 1 billion, and they had 7 billion this week. Pretty insane.
Yeah, I'm sure the bears come out and say, "Oh, this is a scam." They don't even have collateral and blah 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 blah, but they continually disprove them, right? And so yeah, I mean, what does this mean to you? Do you feel like this means that like they're printing stable tokens to allow people to, because they expect a lot more participation, right? Because whenever you're moving from Bitcoin to Ethereum, or you might just want to sit in a stable token because you feel like Bitcoin might lose its dominance for a while, and before you want to get the kind of what's it called, the confirmations that alt season is about to start or is started, and then you move from stable to the secondary token. So yeah,
100%.
Yeah, this is a good indicator for sure.
Yeah, I feel like this money is sitting there and it's getting ready to buy the dip. And when I say the dip, I do not mean Bitcoin. I feel like these guys who are printing this money have Bitcoin, but they don't want to sell their Bitcoin yet. So they'd rather bring in new money. And so that just says, Bitcoin's still going to fly up. They don't want to sell their Bitcoin because they're not sure if the dominance is going to dip, but they do want to start participating in altcoins for the first time, maybe. And, this is probably the perfect time to be getting. I mean, you can still get stuff at, it's 6 months low. I mean, you can get stuff like Merlin at its 6-month low. I mean, not fully low, but it's pretty much right there, like less than 50% from the low. So I think this is perfect time to be buying these altcoins right now, and I think that's why a lot of this tether is being printed. So
yeah, and USDT D, which is USDT dominance as well, has a chart, and it's been consolidating actually, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of coiling up. It seems like it's ready to spring up a little bit too. So, and it's an inverse indicator of Bitcoin. So if USDT goes up, Bitcoin typically goes down, dominance releases, and then tokens like Merlin and Stacks and stuff will jump up.
I agree. All right, let's get into the Bitcoin fear and greed. I'm just gonna let you know it's way too green. It's definitely prices from last night. So, but I'll give you a hint. We're in extreme greed right now.
Where were we yesterday? 80?
Okay, my bad. So last Thursday we were at 77. Yesterday we were at 84.
Okay, so then I'm gonna say 88.
Dude, dead nuts,
wow,
bro.
Yay,
dead
yay.
Nuts. 88. Good for you.
Second time ever getting it right.
Congratulations. Dead on. But if you had to guess where we are right now in the sea of red, where would you say we were?
I would say we're probably back down to 79, maybe.
Yeah.
81. Yeah. 79 to 81, around there.
I think that's a really good guess. But let's kind of see where we are with Bitcoin. Jump into the Bitcoin price action brought to you by BitPerp. BitPerp is going to be your leading leverage trading platform in the Bitcoin ecosystem. It's going to be something special, guys, because you're going to be able to trade pretty much anything you want with leverage. You're going to trade to coins like Mr. Yen, all the way to pretty much anything that's on a centralized exchange. We got, $1 billion cat, you got dog, you got things popping on every single day. They're going to be focused in the Bitcoin ecosystem. That's why we love them. That's why they're a part of our partnership program. And we just think that their paper trading contest, which we did get news on yesterday from our meeting, but that's going to end either Friday or Monday. So if you guys are participating, it's just going to be a nice pause, but they told us the winners are pretty much in. So if you're a winner, you pretty much know that you're in the top 3 and you're going to win those prizes. So congratulations to you. But guys, don't take this as a negative because you're probably still going to be earning some points, which everyone knows what points turn into. But just be prepared that when next week happens, it's going to be a week, maybe 2 weeks off, and then they're going to restart it back up with the new updates, which is going to be faster and better. And maybe and hopefully we actually get some paper trading of some assets that are not Bitcoin.
Yeah, and so we apologize. We didn't realize it was going to be stopped so abruptly. The reason why is they got a lot of feedback and they want to really get to work in terms of getting this mainnet ready. But don't worry, there's going to be another paper trading competition once they right before mainnet. It's going to be on Botonics, but it's going to be, from what they're saying, a USDT prize as well. But also, if I were you, I would just try to get in and try to get as many trades as possible because it is paper trading. And if you trade at least once with a new wallet, then you have a chance to win 5,000 BTP in a raffle they're going to pick. So you still not kind of, you still have a chance to win something, even if you don't win the 100,000 BTP. But before we get into the Bitcoin price action, guys, on the YouTube side, smash that like for us. It helps us a ton with the algorithm. And then subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. And then turn your notifications on the X side. Hit that like for us and share the space if you don't mind. All right, let's get into Bitcoin price action for the day. You can see that the MACD is showing that sell pressure is continuing here. We tried to pull up here on the hour chart, but we didn't really have any momentum going, and then we fell down further, which is why we are sitting at right that 88,500 mark. So talking about from the top of yesterday, which is 93K, 88.5, we're about 5,000 down from where we were from the all-time high, I would say. But that, to me, like I said last week, if you were to tell me that a $5,000 pullback would bring us to 88,000, I'd be like, wow, that's a huge success, right? So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. Second half of today, probably, bounce around 80, 87.5, 88.5. I know I've been doing like $1,000 range, but I'm just going off of what the trend is showing, because that's kind of how Bitcoin has been acting, and the trend has been really green the past week, right? But now we're starting to see some pullback. So I'm hoping that Bitcoin kind of pulls back and finds a little bit of a hover zone between 87,000 and 89,000, so we can bring the dominance down. It looks like it's starting to work already a little bit here. And I'll get into that chart in a second. But yeah, so second half of today, I would say probably a little bit further down is what I'm thinking. You can see here the MACD is showing still strength for sell down here, as well as just entering the oversold territory on the stochastics RSI, being below that 20-point range there. On the 8-hour chart, we're starting to weaken here a little bit, which makes some sense, right? So if we go from a week from today, we're talking about next Thursday, I wouldn't mind if we, ping pong back and forth between like 85 to 90,000, and kind of just get into this like hover zone, and then the last week of November maybe, show a little bit of aggressiveness, pull up, maybe still stagnant, and then December, like I said, is always the most aggressive month of the Q4 of the halving year, right before the bull run year. So, I do expect us to kind of break through my initial target of 100,000 before the year's up. But yeah, maybe for the rest of this month, Bitcoin maybe cools off. But every time I've said that, Bitcoin does the opposite. So don't listen to me. I'm just a bit cautious whenever getting into these long positions now, because it's been really overextended in my opinion. So stochastics is showing we are trying to head towards being an oversold. Also, the MACD is showing and starting to weaken. You can see the blue and orange lines getting close together, trying to touch here. And we are starting to form this red candle on the 8-hour. And so that is what I'm thinking. But let's take a look here at this chart, which is the 1-hour chart for the Bitcoin dominance. Okay, so for the people that don't know what the Bitcoin dominance is, it's basically a percentage of how much of the total crypto market cap Bitcoin consumes. And as of right now, we're at 60.8%. So we hit this all-time high right here of the local area at 61.39. We did a double top here, but it looks like it's trying to get below the 50-day EMA. Okay, so if this goes down, it continues down, but ETH and some of these other altcoins can kind of hover and not necessarily, tie to Bitcoin like a magnet as it's going down aggressively or, just continually. That could be a sign that these alts and, the Bitcoin ecosystem tokens and assets could be ready to have a little bit of an aggressive pump. So that's kind of what I want to see, because I do feel like we have exhausted Bitcoin's price aggression here for November. And it would be very nice to see a little bit of an ecosystem, aggressive pump, as well as, get some of those altcoins going a little bit. And then we might see rinse and repeat in December as well. But, who knows what's going to happen? Bitcoin has been dominant for some time. And so this is what I'm kind of hoping for, I guess. But I want to give you guys a little insight of what the dominance looks like right now.
Yeah. How important is the dominance like right now, do you think? How important is it as an asset to keep tracking?
Well, I think it's important, right? Especially if you're thinking about getting into alts or, in our space, these Bitcoin ecosystem tokens like Stacks, Merle, FB, stuff like that, UTXO tokens, Bells, stuff like that. But it is a little bit early, right? We're still talking about the middle of November, and we had a pretty hyper aggressive Bitcoin price action. We look at it as aggressive. I mean, it's aggressive at the end of the day, right? Like Trump won. We knew that something was going to happen, and it got really aggressive. So because of that, I think we still see a little bit of an aggressive pump we have 2 weeks for November to see an aggressive pump for Bitcoin ecosystem alts, and then alt market as well. It won't last too long, I don't think. Maybe we get like a week or something. And then December, we'll kind of marinate and see when Bitcoin wants to take off again. Then it'll probably bring dominance back up again, because I think it gets hyper aggressive again. I think we go past 100,000, and then also probably sit back again and see what, when it calms down, when they want to take off again in December. So that's like the perfect scenario.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that was perfect. Great job on that, dude. Let's jump into the roll call here. Let's see who is here on the show. First is first, and it's our man, Tim Baker, AODR himself. He says graveyard, because that's where normally Tim goes when he comments early. But for some reason, I have no idea why, YouTube was nice to Tim today and left his comment in there and allowed Tim to become number one. Sir, today is your day. I appreciate you, everything you do for the show. One of our mods, man. You're absolutely amazing. Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo. He loves me and I love you with his Billy Cat. It's a fire Billy Cat, by the way, with a cool ass hat.
Yeah,
I never even seen him with that cool hat.
The cowboy hat?
Yeah. Chief Axel is here. Shout out to you, my friend. Yasher, one of our mods. We appreciate you. He's like, just a bit above the graveyard. Shout out to you, Yasher. I'm glad you weren't in the graveyard. And then number one on BetBTC, PJNZ.
Let's go.
Has had a great week. Not just BTC, but old stale bags have come alive. Shout out to PJNZ, guys. That's our guy right there.
Every time I hear his name, I think peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat.
Oh, we just lost our monetization. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I forgot that's a song.
Mr. Sheet. No, I think you can sing them. I just don't think you can play.
Yeah.
We lost our monetization yesterday. I didn't tell you because the song in Foxy.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I got the notification. I was like, what the hell is this? But shout out to Mr. Sheedy, joined the member program again. Shout out to you, my friend. You will be getting the teal airdrop of the thing. So I mean, right now you basically paying $10 and you get it. So it's way cheaper than what they're gonna be paying for the white ones. Just don't tell nobody about that. But yeah, thank you, Mr. Sheedy, man. You're he says we're the only channel he's ever paid for and will ever pay for.
Oh wow, man. So feel honored. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, we appreciate you so much, friend. And we're glad we can give you back. I think these guns are gonna be really cool, especially when Foxy's game open, and you guys can win for Ordinal Revolution. That's another reason why we're doing the airdrop, especially the orange one. So you guys have an advantage over everybody else. So if you are going to play the Foxy game, get the orange one and the teal one. Joko's here. Shout out to Joko. Mr. She said, "What's up? Got my membership back. Next 6 months are going to be critical to have a membership." I agree, She. We love you, buddy. D Love is here. Shout out to D Love. Oh, dude, we're talking about D Love earlier this morning. Like you and Cheedy are coming at Francis and stuff. You guys have our back to the fullest. We appreciate you guys definitely. Everything is up except Bitcoin ecosystem. Any hopes for runes? We're gonna get into that. We have huge hopes for runes.
I wouldn't say everything is everything is up, including runes is up too, though. Like, it
depends
BTC.
which ones. She might be in Satoshi Nakamoto or something like that.
I'm in that too, so I feel her in that.
Dream Baked is here. Says, where does it stop? Nobody knows. Shout out to Dream Baked. Almost done 71. Says afternoon all. Good afternoon, my friend. Patty Poo's here, the Bitcoin machine himself. Sup. Pawan is here. It's a Glizzy. Shout out to all the Glizzy community. Bitmap Gallery is here. Honk. James Rippin is here. It's a sup. I Walk Alone. GM, smash that like and share. Let's go be rich together. We're all gonna make it. Oh, Wagme's coming back. You know it's a bull run if Wagme's back. Cheedy, we're just talking about you, my friend. Thank you. What's up, guys? What's up, buddy? Mats is here. Chain Watcher's here. Sammy J. Ant-Man. Fix says Gizmo, go to the moon. Gizmo.
Gizmo's been running.
Gizmo. He's been running hard. Rick G says long live Cat 20, BRC 20, FB, BTC, OR definitely. Everything else, I guess we'll have to find out. It's hard to call FB, BRC 20, and Cat 20s right now. Just don't know. Choda is here. TKO is here. Nagi, man, every single day, my friend. Thank you so much. Sixes every single day. Most of you guys are. Fractal at 4 Schmeckles. Damn, Morty. Yeah, it's Fractal is not looking good right now. It's been down only. Christopher Abbott says Elsa. Yeah, Elsa's a rune. Yeah. Yo Street says what's poppin', family. Kyle says, oh, it's all peanuts. Superman himself, well, Starman, he calls himself now. No is here. Danny D Blocks, that's our boy right there, one of our mods. We appreciate Danny and everything he does for the show. Our number 2 member behind Rocket Dog. Shout out to Danny. It's like 6 minutes apart, like twins. Patrick Nand is here. GM. Albert and Mari. Coinbase planning to delist USDT by the end of the year. What do you guys think of the impact? It's been rumored. This has been rumored for a long time. I don't think it impacts it at all. Albert also says 63-64% dominance will be the top. Look to get into all its once.
I'm hearing that too, but I don't know. I'm hearing both 61 and then 63-64. I think Cohen's thinking more 63-64.
Yeah. He called 60. I mean, for sure. But we'll see if it goes any further. Aaron says, did you hear about Omen getting a rune on BTC that's tied to a native token on Cardano? It's called Omni. Yeah. So Fluid Token is doing good stuff here. Yeah. We actually tomorrow's Fluid Friday. We're gonna try to get Raul to talk about that a little bit if he comes on. So just tune in tomorrow for Fluid Friday. ASAP Benji is here, and then our coach Cash Cats is in the building. GM made it barely with the coffee and the donuts and the dog. Go to the moon. Shout out to you, my friend. And Sixes says, just snapped up Wanko Manko #1 in the ME mempool. Now protected. This elevator goes up for now.
Interesting.
If you're in the dogs with human genitalia, then I'm all for you, bro.
I don't remember that part.
That's what Wanko Manko is a dog with a human vagina.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You didn't read it?
No, I didn't read it. I have no interest in reading it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I minted it in the beginning. I still have it. So I mean, if it goes up, I'm not reading the thing though.
Sean Enough is here, and if you guys don't know, that's my name as well. So Sean Enough, shout out to you, my friend. That's the first time I think I've said that on the show.
Yeah, you just doxed yourself fully. No, I'm just kidding.
Myself. I mean, anyone can find me if you want to find me. But
catch me outside. How about that?
But yeah, real quick though, I may hit on this. Thank you, Sean Enough. You get a Satoshi silencer, the teal one. So yeah, guys. So I just want to mention this real quick as we're getting new members to come in. Pay attention to the members only videos. These are videos we put out there for members only. Just go to our YouTube channel. You can see all the members videos. You guys actually can go back and check out our portfolio as well. We're doing a $5,000 to $100,000 challenge. We were up on it after being down on it for a while because we did start it in the depths of hell of July, but now we're in September, and it's going to be easier. So guys, you still have time to check out that portfolio before it really starts to take off. Take a look what we have in there, and none of that's financial advice, just what we see on how to take that portfolio from $5,000 to $100,000. So check that out. It's fun. It's a fun thing, and also you're getting the teal Satoshi silencer. But it's funny, I've never seen you in roll call, I've never seen you comment, but then you joined the member group. Shout out to you, my friend.
Yep. And I noticed too the Ordinal Revolution pass floor jumped up a bit. It's back to I think like almost $600. So people are paying attention to try to get the orange one as well. So that was the biggest thing when we launched that pass. We did not want to just launch a pass and people sell on secondary and that's it. We wanted to give back, and we have. We've gotten, collaborations with airdrops. We've done,
Yeah.
extra things for claims, and this is just another part of that process. So we appreciate all of our pass holders and our paying YouTube members as well.
Yeah, guys, and as we make money, you guys, we're gonna give more and more to the pass holders. That's gonna come when things are hot, things are fiery, but we're gonna give back. And how we're gonna give back is we know your address because you're holding that pass, and we're gonna know your address because we're gonna put out a video, and we're gonna say if you see this, put your address in, just like we did the pass, and it worked really well last time. So we're hoping it works again. But you need to see that. You need to see that video. So keep paying attention to the members' video. The title is going to be "Put Your Wallet Address in Comments." That's going to be the title of the video. We're going to come on. We're going to say, "Hey guys, put your wallet address in the comments," and then you're guys going to be you get that Satoshi silencer. So look out for that. But just remember, the white one will come out before the airdrops. So that one's going to be a BRC 420. We're going to do a mint for that because that's going to do with the staking. We're going to wait till the staking vault is closed before we put out the green and orange one. But don't worry, you will definitely get it. All right. Bitcoin's biggest secrets exposed. Why runes could change everything. This is something that I've really been thinking about, right? Because we've really been talking to a lot of projects that are coming out, and they're bringing utility to runes. They're doing types of really cool stuff, and we want to make sure you guys are understanding. There's a lot of FUD on runes, especially by other YouTubers and stuff like that. You have one YouTube show who is pretty much tap only, one YouTube show that is pretty much they just want to trash runes the whole time, and then you have us, right, who really want to bring you just the news, right? Just the stuff that's going on in the space. We're not one-sided. People say we hate tap, we hate this. No. We just want to make sure that we're giving you guys the freshest news and the freshest things. And we think that runes is going to change everything, right?
Yeah. And for me and Shizzy used to have this banter back and forth between if BRC 20s would dissipate and completely go away or not, and if runes were going to be that dominant. And I was more on the line along the lines of, we don't know, right? We'll see. But it is starting to show that runes is getting more builders believing in it. And I think the reason that is because the way that runes was created was by Casey Rodimer, right? So he created the ordinal theory in the ordinal protocol, right? So, awesome. We had the most robust NFT. It's not, we don't call them NFTs over here. We call them ordinals. But for people that don't know, they are basically Bitcoin NFTs marketplace, an on-chain economy that has never existed before. We're talking about billions of dollars of transactions and stuff, right? So, after that, he created the runes protocol, and he basically added some features in it and kind of washed his hands with that in terms of like the actual protocol, right? And so I think builders look at that as more of a decentralized approach, more of a permissionless decentralized approach versus something like BRC 20s that has a permissionless aspect of it, but it does seem a little like more centralized is what it was. Let's just be honest. So BRC 20s launched, and then you had Unisat, which kind of got behind it and started indexing it right away and did an amazing job, by the way. So we got to give them their credit where credit is due. They got a lot of attention and eyes over to the Bitcoin ecosystem during that huge run up, the first one in March of 2023. And because of that, people started paying attention and wanting to innovate over here. But with that said, they held on to kind of how they index things for a very long time. Indexers and builders wanted to be able to have that open source so they could innovate around it and build on top of it. And it just took so long until Best in Slot kind of came into the picture way late, and runes was already in the work. So from builders, what we're hearing is that most of them are buying into runes, but that doesn't mean that BRC 20 is dead and gone, because there's people still trying to do things with them, like staking or with the BTC.fund, which is a pump.fund style thing. They're going to utilize runes and BRC 20. So we'll see where that goes. But for the builders on layer 1, I think they're going to mainly focus on a rune being their utility token.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I don't think like BRC 20s are dead and stuff, but I do feel like runes are going to be. And I said this going all the way back to like April. Runes are going to be the #1 standard in the ecosystem for two reasons, right? The first reason, like a lot of the points you made, but the first reason, Casey made it, right? Casey created ordinals, Casey created runes, and on that, it'll always have that backing, right? So if it's kind of like if Vitalik Buterin or someone of his stature made something on the chain, you're going to be like, okay, that's a standard. You don't really, I mean, there is going to be other ways. You're going to have it like Casey did copy Atomicals, which copied color coins. So you can say in a way, Casey just took Bitcoin history and we kind of remade it. But I'm surprised Casey, well, I guess because Casey's not a token guy.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's why he was kind of forced, because BRC20s were destroying his indexer with ugly JSON. So, and he hated that. So by creating runes, he kind of, and it worked, right? Because you're not seeing a lot of JSON in the ORD indexer anymore. So his plan
well,
worked.
I think a lot of it was just the clutter and spam of the and I hate to use the word spam because that's what Maxi uses, but like I just say that because of the transfer inscriptions, and they just exist. You know, they just exist, and like it's like putting like junk in space that you're not going to use again. You know what I mean? And so, you know, that gets really cluttered, and tons of inscriptions. It's great for miners. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they were, you know, earning a lot of fees, but it just wasn't efficient. I think everybody can admit that at this point.
Yeah.
And so, but with that being said, you know, the builders that we have talked to and stuff, and new builders in the space, they typically will go with runes. Every once in a while, we'll get someone that says, "Oh, we're actually thinking about doing a BRC20," and we kind of scratch our head a little bit. But I would say 9 out of 10, maybe 8 out of 10 times, the projects say they're going to launch a rune, and that's the direction they're going in.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about utility runes, right? It does a future, but let's talk about the ones we have right now. Let's talk about the runes. I'm gonna share my screen here before we get in the future ones. If you go to a volume, what is your favorite I guess utility rune? And I say utility because we just don't know what's going to have right now, but it's basically backed by a company, right? For instance, the bank token, which is banked by NUSD, the company that creates that stablecoin, and you have Liquidium, the basically the company that creates decentralized loans for your ordinals and stuff like that. So, what is your favorite? I would say utility token. It's not a meme coin.
Yeah. So there's a couple, so let's kind of go over the ones that exist right now.
Okay.
And so we have Liquidium, like you said. So it's a DeFi protocol. This one is probably the most solid in terms of risk curve, in my opinion, because of who backs them, and they're doing a certain amount of volume every day, right? So the price isn't necessarily like the best in terms of how it fluctuates, because let's just be real, there's VCs in this, right? And so they want their return, and they wanted it like 6 months ago, which completely blew my mind that they thought they would be able to get it. You know, these are VCs that supposedly had experience last cycle, and we weren't even in the bull market. We weren't even in where we are now. And so, but with that being said, I do think that they have like the largest foundation, because they are backed by BTC Startup Labs in terms of like the guidance. I think Frontier Fund might be invested in here. And then you have a lot of other investors as well. Plus you have Robin, which is, you know, he's known in the space. So when I was doing the mediation for the Inscribing Singapore, the first panel, Robin was on it, right, with Casey. So he definitely has his reputation in the space as being knowledgeable and just kind of, I guess, that in crowd maybe is what you would say.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then Ordzar is a big one that I think people kind of overlook, because, you know, they have their airdrop, but they've had a platform, an ordinals marketplace, for a very long time, and they're making revenue. When I had lunch with Nakib in Singapore, he broke down like their business model, and he was like, it's crazy. Like, you know, they have customers and users that are, he said that he would never have thought like would utilize the platform that they're earning fees from and stuff. So so I would consider them kind of a sleeper. You know, because they have a great marketer in Nakib. he's also worked his way into the inner circles to where he's pretty close with Casey and people like that. And that guy, he's a social guy, you know. So we love Nakeeb, and so I think that's a sleeper. I think it could do well in the bull market. Then you have Bam Nakamoto. I'm not too crazy about that one just because I don't want to get into it too deep, but yeah, I'm just not crazy about that one. And Hermetica, I think they launched a rune as well, correct?
Not yet. So it's not out yet, but you are earning it in their thing there, as you can see.
Okay, so Hermetica is another stable token.
Yeah,
but
I'll be part of the future one, so we can talk about.
Yeah, Aletheus Agora has one a token
What's
out.
Agora doing these days? I haven't looked at that.
I think
one
it's at like $3 or something. And their predictions market. And we met the founders at Bitcoin convention in Nashville. Really cool founder, man. John. He's super passionate, 100% passionate guy. Him and his brother, and I think a small team, but they keep grinding through, you know, the mud and they're working their way. And so super proud of those guys. I think they could have something in the future, but we'll see. Those are the ones that I know of that are active right now.
I was talking to Maddie on Sunday, and he said Rex Intelligent is the Rex blockchain.
I think that's Dante.
This is Dante, right? Yeah. So he said this is one that he's bullish on, and I really don't know too much about it. We should probably reach out to Dante and have them on the show to kind of explain it to us and to our audience, kind of get them caught up on actually what that is going to be, because that would be probably a really good interview. And then, for instance, so you have just keep going down. Maybe we'll find something.
Zbit, forgot about them.
Zbit, Bitcoin machines, yeah,
Bitcoin machine. So they have a great community. We got Padded Poo, which is kind of like our representation of BTC machines and vice versa, right? So if we ever need anything, he kind of helps us out with communication if there's an issue there. So appreciate you, Padded Poo. But yeah, Zbit, which is man, I was actually blown away when we had Lucky on our show, and they have a complete marketplace, remember, to where you can. Yeah, so I am pretty bullish on those guys. The thing about Lucky and what's the other founder's name? I can't remember what the other founder's name is.
Papo.
Yeah. So they're really good in curating their community, keeping them active and stuff like that. And they have, you know, a game that we saw right with that marketplace where you can actually use Zbit to purchase items and stuff like that. So that is one that pretty decently bullish on. I you know, still need to see some more stuff, but look, those guys have been around since the start and they haven't left. Builders that have been around since the start and went through all the hard times and are still here, I'm bullish on them regardless. I mean, they might not make it all the way in huge, like $100 million market cap or $1 billion market cap, but they're here and they're putting their best foot forward. So I would bet on them 10 times out of 10 times versus someone that was here, bounced out for a very long time and came back and was like, oh, you know, unless it's a medical emergency, I knew him personally, could believe them or something, you know? So
yeah, 100%. All right, let's kind of get into the future utility runes, right? So it's gonna be pretty easy for us to kind of name our partners. So we'll get them out the way first because you have Fluid. They have FLDT, which is a coin on MEXC that you guys can trade now if you wanted to. That'd be backed 1-to-1 with the rune. You know, you have Ordinal Hive, right? They're gonna be a rune as well. So they are gonna basically building the blur of Bitcoin themselves. It's gonna be an aggregator. You're gonna be able to get the cheapest ordinals anywhere. So they're gonna have a rune. And then you have Bet BTC, who we know they're gonna have a rune, and they are a predictions market, and you're gonna be earning fees by holding that rune. Maybe some staking. I'm not 100% sure yet what they're gonna tell, but you're definitely earning a rune by using that market. But let's just say besides our partners, do you know anyone else who potentially is going to have a rune? I know there's like a Rune Pro out there and some other stuff as well.
So Rune Pro has a rune, and they are a ordering book marketplace that has some cool features, you know, that Magic Eden doesn't have. And then Rune Alpha also, I believe. But I don't know if they're still building. That's the thing, is that I'm not sure if, you know, which projects are still building here. Oh, we missed one too.
Rooney.
Yeah, they're existing currently.
Yeah.
So, and that's Rune's Terminal, which they rebranded, didn't they?
Well, their Rune didn't, but now they're BTC Terminal, but their Rune is still Rooney.
Gotcha. So yeah, I saw in the chat, Omen is launching a rune that supposedly is going to be. It says, did you hear about Omen getting a rune right here, Aaron? BTC that's tied to a native token on Cardano. It's called OMNI. Really cool tech using fluid token. So that's pretty cool. That would be utility, right? If they do that. So yeah, so the ones that are coming in the future that aren't our partners, really, you know, I'm not so sure, honestly. You know,
I'm trying to find some stuff, but I was wondering if you guys know it. Anybody put it in chat? Like, what is there a project out there that's going to have a room?
You know, I know there has to be, right? There has to be more. You know, I wonder if what's the Solana bridge? They probably will have one coming.
Yeah, Rune Mine. They'll probably have one for sure.
I think Arch is probably going to have their own token standard.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be
Arch Network's going to have their own, but we'll find out soon. But we'll let you guys know about that later.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there's any other ones. I'm sure. I mean, I am sure there are. I just don't know what their names are off the top of my head, other than the ones that we kind of hit on, right?
So actually going to ask the audience here, guys, try to find us runes that are coming out with utility. We would love to have those projects on the show and kind of describe that. That's kind of the point of this. We want to know. We want to start really searching for utility runes because we do know the memes are going to take off, right? We know $1 billion cat's probably going to be one of the top ones. Pups going to be top one. Dog, obviously, but we don't know who the top utility runes are, and that's kind of a question and an area that we potentially could make a lot of money. Our community could make a lot of money going after some of these early utility runes. And I think
we didn't talk about Emblem Vault's going to be coming out with a rune. That's going to be a huge one. So Emblem Vault, for the people that don't know, they've been building in the Bitcoin space since 2015, I believe, maybe even 2014. Their head dev is super experienced on Bitcoin, but kind of got pushed out by the Bitcoin maxis once they stopped building over here and went over to Ethereum, and then once realized that Bitcoin's back for builders, they've resettled back over here. But so they're going to have a rune that's coming out. But so watch the video that gets dropped today. We're dropping it today. So we did a video.
We dropped it in about 4 hours. Yeah.
Okay, in about 4 hours we are, or it's already dropped?
Yep.
Okay.
No,
so
it dropped 4 hours,
In about 4 hours, look out for a video we did with Adam McBride and Jake Gallen, which are the two leaders of that team at Emblem Vault. You're gonna be able to jump from chain to chain, guys. Like one transaction. So no more blocks of waiting. So from Bitcoin to Merlin is gonna be one transaction. Puppets, you can take them wherever you want to. Same thing with Bitcoin to Ethereum to Solana. These guys have been building like crazy, and it's new tech, and so we're super excited for you guys to learn about it. So make sure you watch that episode today, because we're going to prep something. We have an announcement tomorrow morning, but we're also going to prep something for next week, and we'll announce it tomorrow.
Yep. All right. The next thing here, Opcat could go live on Bitcoin within 12 months. I know we've been hearing this a lot, but this is somebody, someone big in the space. This is Eli Ben Sasson. So Eli Ben Sasson is a computer scientist and prominent figure in the field of cryptography. He is one of the co-founders of Starkware. They're building DK proofs on Ethereum, and they've really been focusing on Bitcoin. And they need Opcat to keep this going, or it's going to be a failure. And they are not stopped building. They moved 60% of their team to building on Bitcoin. This is massive if we can get this in 12 months. So 12 months will be pretty much the end of the bull market. Do you think? I think that's good, because that's heads down building mode, right? When we enter a bear market again, if we get a bear market again, right? So
I mean, it's right before the most bullish part of a bull market year, which is the winter of that year. So if they can do it in 12 months from now, that means that it will be ready by November. I don't know. Look, I saw a post from Udi that he retweeted. I think it was Murad or something, was on a interview, and Murad was talking about how Taproot Wizards launching their art project along with Wizard Token or whatever is more of a community token for a movement. to get OpCat, like a technological innovation, right? And Udi reposted and he basically said he hit the nail on the head. And they were saying that Taproot was added last cycle. He's like basically saying cycles occur to create hype and buzz, but it's the best opportunity to really push for innovation. And that's what happened with Taproot, and that's what's happening now with OpCat. So to be able to get it added for 12 months from now, I think would be good. But I don't know if the builders will be ready to integrate the things. But they can test. They can test all day on like chains like Fractal. We've interviewed a team that tests with Fractal every day because it's like 0.1% of a penny or something, half a penny or something to do a transaction, right? So that's probably what they'll do. And Fractal is basically a replica of Bitcoin, except for enabling OpCat as well, right? There might be some other features, I'm not sure, but so maybe they turn it on and maybe they're ready right away. And if they are, then we could see a crazy Q4 of 2025. Otherwise, if they have to continually build out, we might just see, people speculating, buying before it's ready to, and then we have like a decent start to like a bear market, because like there's activity, and then we go into the bear market, and the next cycle will be huge.
Yeah, 100%. And you got to remember there is a test net that is Bitcoin test net right now that has OpCat enabled. So a lot of these ZK rollups and stuff are doing it over there already. So I think the builders will all be ready, but you have to remember Taproot was accepted in January of 2020. It didn't get implemented until November of 2020, right? So from accepted to implement it was a long time, right? And then no one really started building on Taproot until Casey did in 2023. Right.
Yeah.
But this is different. This is something that's already been in Bitcoin. This is just 9 lines of code. We were talking about Bodily in Nashville, and he basically told us, guys, this is when it's in, it's in. Like there's it's not,
and they have
there's
test
no
nets
hurdles
for
to
it.
jump through. Exactly. SegWit? No, it's
not just that.
Signet test.
But not even just that. Like, so they have test net for it. So his statement was it goes live in 12 months. So that means that it could get accepted in January, right?
Yeah.
So with that being said, the test nets to me are the sign net or signet or whatever it's called, test net, and then also Fractal, man. Like, people are going to utilize Fractal as a test net. So a lot of these applications will probably be built on Fractal first, anyways, and then all you got to do is re-implement that to Bitcoin. Now the biggest difference is going to be, can these ZK snarks and whatever they are, ZK everything they're utilizing, are they going to be able to make transaction speeds seem faster, even though we know the blocks are still going to be 10 minutes in the back end? All that matters is that if it feels faster to us, and even if they delay that transaction, they're just indexing it, off chain or whatever, and then they send it to get it finalized, because they just need a network or whatever they decide to do, however they do it technology wise. I'm not a dev, but right, like the transaction just needs to be finalized on Bitcoin. That is the most important thing, but they got to make the experience good too, because if we're waiting for 10-minute swaps, we don't see the new balance in our wallet after 10 minutes, even if the swap is fast, it don't matter.
But that's the point of ZK rollups, right? They're going to roll up, let's just say, a week's worth of transactions. So you're going to get your transaction. You're going to, everything's going
to do whatever you want
instantly. And then, but your transaction isn't finalized on Bitcoin for a week. But as long as you know that it's going through, it doesn't matter. And you can still keep trading that same asset going on.
Yeah.
It's all going to be rolled up into one transaction at the end for one fee, right? So that's the beauty of a roll up. You're kind of rolling up a day's worth, an hour's worth, a week's worth, depending on the company or the project or the blockchain. It doesn't matter, because once it's finalized, but it could take some time to get your transaction finalized. But this could be, if there's 9 different ZK rollups, it might take an entire block, right? Like for one rollup. It could be something like that. It could be a big data to where, but that's the thing. These they're gonna be getting the fees the entire time. So when I send you something, there's a tiny fee, but that all gets rolled up later for that giant fee to the miners. This could be something really big for miners.
Yeah, I mean, this goes back to kind of some of these conversations we've been having lately with builders saying, look, last cycle was the biggest overused emphasis of decentralization, right? But that's for people like cypherpunks or people hardcore Bitcoiners and stuff like that. The everyday user doesn't give a shit. As long as they're not losing money, So security does matter. They don't care how you do it in the back end. So if you're rolling up, it's kind of like this payment processing that we've been
that's
talking
still
about.
decentralized. That's all a smart contract.
But they don't care if it is or not. Is my
But I'm
point.
just saying I mean, I think it's a big deal though, because
but like for everything in life, if you give something up, especially like the trilemma, you have to give something up a little bit some other ways, right? So for me, like ZK rollups sound amazing, right? From a tech standpoint, but what are we giving up? There has to be something there, right? There's got to be little holes and stuff like that. I'm sure they're going to plug them and do very well, because at the end of the day, they just can't have people lose money. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, they can't have people lose any value. You know, I don't think either of us are advanced enough to say there are no holes or there are some holes. You know what I mean? At this point, like we're not ZK experts at all.
You have to remember there's already ZK Sync that's running ZK, but they're doing it on Ethereum, and
that's fine.
it's been seamless so far.
I'm not saying that like you can't have a 99% accuracy rate or something like that. You know, there's always like you know, like they say scientifically, like 1% or like not 1%, but 0.001% of an asteroid hitting the Earth or whatever, right? I'm just saying, like, what's the possibilities? Like, you know, for me, like being an analytics person, I want to know, but someone like my aunt, she doesn't care, but like she might care if she's trying to put a very secure payment and it's backed by Bitcoin, you know, and she's like, okay, I want to use this because it's guaranteed or whatever. Because I think we'll see that in the future with mainstream users. This payment's guaranteed because it's backed by Bitcoin. The company will like have insurance for whatever. You get what I'm saying? So, anyways, I think that's an interesting conversation.
One of the trade-offs with ZK is that it's not finalized right away. So what that means is that there possibly could be an attack on that, and it might not go
Ending
through
transactions.
But as long so you might have an asset that you have an IOU for, and that's what it kind of is. If you bridge anything, even with Opcat, you're still getting an IOU on the other side, right? It's not like kind of like how Emblem Vault is, where the keys of that wallet is in that vault, and you just unlock the vault to get the keys, and then you have the asset. You're not trading the keys. You're actually just trading something that's locked, and you can't unlock it without basically burning the other side of it, right? So there always will be that trade-off of wrapped things. It's always going to be some type of wrapped, but you're going to be able to do that and finalize it on Bitcoin using ZK rollups. So I think
isn't the whole point of like Cat 20 is that it isn't wrapped. Like the chains are communicating to each other, balance updates and stuff.
But that's from Cat 20 to Cat 20. That's from Opcat to Opcat. I'm talking about like something like Stark
ZK EVM.
ZK EVMs. You're going to be kind of wrapping them, right? So that's the trade-off. You're not actually using a synthetic asset at that point, right? But it's still, if it's finalizing on Bitcoin, you eventually have that address, and you will be able to use your Unisat and Express wallet to do these type of transactions.
Yeah.
So
I agree. Good conversation.
And your wallet's going to, I love talking to stuff, but some people might not like it because it is very techy and boring. But I love hearing this stuff. But let's move to the next thing here. So Ghosty Cash snapshot was November 14th, which was today at 11 UTC, which is 4 hours, so about 8 a.m. Eastern time. And let me jump over to Ghosty's X account because they have a lot of updates.
This is the second snapshot for Ghosty Cash.
Yeah, well, why don't you catch them up for anyone who doesn't know?
Yeah, so Ghosty Cash actually started as a BRC20 last November, I believe, or October, and got really popular. We did pretty well off of Ghosty Cash because we got in early, but the way they were acting, there was a lot of onboarding issues of, you know, if you didn't want to use Coinbase to KYC or anything like that, you could use Ghosty Cash to onboard Bitcoin to the Bitcoin ecosystem because we had this on-chain economy, right? And so Ghosty Cash really filled that gap and pain point, started offering ways to kind of bridge over here and bridge out as well. So they just started adding new support of different chains and tokens every week, right? It's very centralized still, but at the same time, it's kind of like, trust me, bro. But they didn't, did very well, didn't lose any trust from anybody. And then they decided, hey, look, I was saying the bear market, like the next year, still in the bear market. They got with the TAP team, and the TAP team and them were both from Germany, and so they said, hey, how can we work together? And they decided to migrate over to TAP, and so they migrated their BRC20 token to TAP, and then now they had Ghosty TAP token for a long time. And one of the main reasons also they migrated was because there were early huge whale minters that were kind of just hurting the token price tremendously. That's my knowledge, so don't quote me on that. So I could be wrong on that.
That's what they said. No, that's what
Yeah.
they said. 100%.
And so it didn't work though, because you're still airdropping those people. So and now what they are doing is they're coming out.
Well,
with
no, they didn't airdrop them their tokens. They burned their tokens.
The early, okay,
The
gotcha.
top 2 holders got burnt.
Like the toxic ones. Okay, so then they decided, hey, look, we're gonna come just get a clean slate and start with the spooky token, because we have like multiple different products, which they do. That's the one credit I always give Ghosty, is they're always innovating, adding to their product suite.
Yeah.
Right, so they're gonna have like a perps dex as well, and so now it's the spooky token. So they did a snapshot of the Ghosty tap token, and that's where we are today.
Yeah. So they did. So then now they're getting a spooky token, and it is from my understanding, and this might have changed, but you're getting is it 0.6 or 0.4? Do you remember? I think it was 0.4.
I mean, I heard you say 0.4 before.
Yeah. So that's to say you have for instance one ghosty token. Now you're getting 0.4 spooky. And you can do the math, how many ghosty tokens you have, and that's how much spooky you're getting. So they are diluting the shit out of you, and they're kind of smiling in your face. But
wait a second.
but hold on, there's a trade-off to this. But they are also giving you more value for these tokens. They're going to give you a lot more value for this token. And you may ask, why didn't they just do that for the ghosty token? It's because of investors, right? Investors want a share, and they can't give investors a share because they can't just create more of a supply, but they can create a new token and airdrop you 0.4% of that supply. And that's kind of what they're doing here. But now you have investors involved. It's kind of like the tap token. Not the full supply is going to be available, so the market cap is probably going to be around the same. But there's going to be investors now in this project and stuff like that. But you can't grow without investors. You can't grow quickly without investors. So this is kind of a good thing as well. So definitely it sucks for now, but the future is definitely bright for spooky holders, right?
Well, I think so. And we're speculating on that, right? Like we're just
100%.
putting 2 and 2 together to assume that that's what's happening here, because that seemed to be what happened with the tap token as well. But with how quick they build, they're going to have a utility offering to the public, and when retail investors come in, this is going to be interesting for like the regulation side of things too, because like what happens with privacy tokens too, like Tornado Cash, does that come back? Because like the ones that were really persecuting them, there was the EU, I think, that was going after them as well, but the United States was the main one that I think helped put them in prison and stuff like that. But with this option, this product offering, they could be really popular, right? So I don't know, man. Like I really don't know what to say. I think like if you get in early with spooky, even with like VCs that will probably dump later, I think we have such a strong bull run ahead of us that you'll make out fine. But we'll see.
Yeah. And you got to remember, this is a tap token. So this is really depending on what tap does, but it's probably also an ERC20 and probably a Solana token, because having a bridge token is probably going to be on every chain, right? So you potentially could have liquidity pools on every chain using the ERC20, because I'm sure that they're going to take the same route as tap. I can't see them not. So is that a big deal, do you think, having liquidity pools on every chain?
I think so. Yeah. I think eventually that's going to like pay off dividends big time.
Yeah.
That's why I'm bullish on these runes that have liquidity pools in some of these BRC20s as well. Because you have liquidity pools on Merlin, you have liquidity pools on Solana. I don't know how much Emblem Vault did with Ethereum with fungible tokens. I think it was just OXBT, right?
Yeah.
So you probably don't have any on Ethereum, but you'll be able to bridge them if they decide they want to have them, right? Or something like that. So It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. But the liquidity pool is definitely 100%. When you start putting those around, it helps solidify the foundation. That's why I'm not worried about USDT. If Coinbase delists USDT, USDT is on every single EVM chain and other technology chains as well. And so they're going to be fine.
I agree. So Spooky did put out a guide here, snapshot guide. Is this the one? No. So they put out like a timeline. Here it is. I found it. So it's snapshot. The snapshot for Ghosty be scheduled. We heard talk about that. The pre-sale. So they're also having a pre-sale for Spooky is scheduled for November 18th, 2024. Spooky TGE to occur immediately after the public pre-sale. Let me show more here. In exchange listings, the SPKY token will be revealed ahead of the TGE for that. And let's see, I think there's some other stuff here. Oh no, if you have any questions. So not only are they going to VCs potentially, but they're also doing a pre-sale. And I think I have an idea of where that pre-sale is going to be. Do you have an idea what that pre-sale could be? Maybe a launch pad on tap.
Oh yeah, that could happen. Yeah, if you paid attention to our Tap Tuesday segment, you might know.
Yep.
But we'll see.
Yeah, man. So bullish or bearish on Spooky? Final words.
I think everybody's gonna be able to make money on it if they get in at the right time.
Okay.
This is the perfect time to do all this crap, though. Like if you're gonna migrate, like right now is like your window of getting that stuff done to like almost only benefit like your community or holders is now. If you do it like in the middle of spring, that's too late. You might get away with it in January, February, but after that, like I think it's too late, and you definitely don't want to do it, after Q4 of 2025, which it would make no sense if anybody's thinking about doing that now anyways, right? So that I would say I'm cautiously optimistic about Spooky. So I think people will make money off of it and possibly do very well. But if this was in the middle of next year, I would be bearish on it.
I agree. I'm actually on the same page with you 100%. The next thing here is Benny. This is from his Discord. Benny doesn't tweet a lot. He doesn't say anything like that, but he does talk in his Discord a lot. So if you did want stuff in here, stuff that no one else hears, just go to the Discord. So I found this in the Discord. It says, this is a comment from Benny. As soon as the Stables Bridge is on, we are starting internal tests on mainnet this week. So there will be BTC USDT, which then allows you to swap tokens in USDT and USDC. So he's talking about the Taproot swap. So Benny is bringing stable coins to Tap. So we're going to have stable coins on Tap before we have them anywhere else in the Bitcoin ecosystem besides the native ones, Hermetica and Banks. But what do you think about this? What do you think about the big stable coins being on Tap as soon as next week?
I think it's going to be very interesting. I think it's a smart move because if they're doing this first, that means that if I'm in a rune and I want to sell down to BTC, but I really want to be in something stable because BTC is probably going to lose dominance for a while, then I might sell the BTC real quick and then get into that USDT on Tap. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think it's smart on Benny's part because he's solving a pain point first, and he's forcing people to use the Tap protocol to do so.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? It's a chess move almost.
Yeah, and you know what too is like, let's just say you are somebody who have Bitcoin, right? And Bitcoin hit a big number. You're ready to cash out. You no longer have to go to a centralized exchange. As long as you trust the backing of that US dollar, you can come to swap. You can come to the swap and swap Bitcoin for the Tap USDT token, right? And then when you're ready, let's just say you're following the buy before 16 months rule, sell after 18 months of having, then you could use this Taproot swap and not really have to trade Tap tokens. You're just, you're using the Tap protocol to wrap your USDT. And you're, like I said, you are trusting the fact that Tap is holding that USDT 1-to-1, but at the same time, you're getting stablecoin.
Yeah, and they're betting that you're gonna gamble a little bit on some of their stuff too.
Yeah.
Right. So you're absolutely
you don't need
right.
to, in that sense. If you're just going to stablecoin back to Bitcoin, just to do your
Yeah, I know. I'm
your
just
trade.
saying they're like saying, okay, even if like most of these people are just like really disciplined and they just want to put into stable, but you're right. You could constantly just go back and forth from stable to Bitcoin and just until you keep making more Bitcoin, right? But there's probably gonna be a small percentage that is degen, and this is probably also once they start to realize that this traffic is picking up, they're gonna probably have some degen meme tokens running and stuff like that. So I just think it's a chess move, and I think it's smart. But we'll see.
And think about this too. Right now, if you wanted to, let's just say there was something on ETH and it was popping, and you really wanted to buy it, right? That's not what we do, but maybe someone else does, right? How would you do it if you have Bitcoin and you want to get it's some Ethereum or something on an EVM chain? How would you do it?
I would depends on what my goal is, but so
Let's just say your goal is to buy a meme coin on Ethereum. How are you doing that?
So I'd have to do the math, but like the easiest way for me now, like the lazy way, is probably bridge to Merlin because it's 4 blocks, and then bridge from Merlin to whatever chain that is with Messin. So we're talking about 4 blocks. So we're talking about an hour, and then from the hour, it would take probably an hour and like 10 minutes to get to the other chain. Now I would pay more in fees, but if I wanted it quicker, I would send it to like Coinbase, a centralized exchange, and then from Coinbase to that other chain. So it could be faster depending on the mempool, but the mempool works both ways.
So now Tap's giving you an option of trading your Bitcoin for this USDT stablecoin, bridging that USDT stablecoin to Ethereum, and then you can do what you need to do. So that's another thing what Tap is going to allow you to do now, because they do have that bridge. And you now can just trade for that stablecoin, bridge that stablecoin to Ethereum, and you're over there. How many blocks would that take? I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's cheaper
6
and faster.
Oh, I don't know about Ethereum.
The Tap bridge. Yeah, I don't know. So, but I still think it's cheaper and faster to go through Tap now once stablecoins and the bridge is live for the stable.
Yeah, because we're not. I guess you don't have to bridge to ICP with Tap, right?
Yeah, you're kind of bridging through. So I don't know how many blocks that would be, but I think that would be a faster way. Or let's just say I have USDT on ETH and I want to get Bitcoin with it instead of going through MEXC, which I normally do. I would just now just go through Tap. So that gives you another option for that as well.
Yeah. Yep. I know on the Bitcoin side they utilize the ICP prover network, but you don't have to bridge anything into Tap's ecosystem, which is a good thing.
Yeah, no bridging.
Yeah.
So you're just trading your Bitcoin for USDT and bridging the USDT to Ethereum.
Ethereum.
2 steps.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to ask you a question for this. So, how bad of a business move was this for OpenSea?
Horrible.
So remember when OpenSea faded Ordinals and got crushed by Magic Eden in the process? What a business decision! How bad of a how stupid do you have to be to ignore Ordinals at this point, as OpenSea has?
I don't know what their situation was, right? Like their bottom line. Because for them, they might have looked at it as a because at the end of the day, it was a risk in the beginning. You have to remember that. Like, a lot of people probably saw it and was like, this is counterparty 2.0. They're using like this weird tech to go around, Bitcoin Core to kind of like, it's almost like using the 8 edges of data space to kind of inscribe these ordinals and stuff like that. And so I don't think it was attractive to them in terms of risk reward. But Magic Eden didn't have a ton to lose. They only had a lot to gain. Now they were the leader in Solana, right? But whenever you're going up against OpenSea and Blur, so OpenSea was already kind of having its battle with Blur anyways, right?
Yes.
Blur was taking a lot of volume from them. So I think they were still probably focused on that and like, okay, like how do we rebound from that? Magic Eden at the same time was like, we'll let these 2 fools kind of fight off, and they're not even paying attention to ordinals. And so they did, and they won.
Not only did they win the NFTs, they might have won the fungible tokens on Bitcoin as well.
It did. I mean,
Yeah,
in terms
100%
of
for now.
like
Yeah.
marketplaces, yeah.
Magic Eden probably 10x their business during this bear market, while OpenSea might have went backwards about 50%.
Yeah. So someone else that missed out on an opportunity too was Uniswap, and they questioned.
Yeah.
They asked their community, and their community said no. Now they are pretty robust and strong foundation and stuff, so they will be okay. But I think that benefited Magic Eden as well, even though Magic Eden at the time didn't realize it because Runes wasn't out. It was
No.
BRC20s, and I
They were
think BRC20s was so unattractive to like the Ethereum builders because of the technicals behind it. Yeah, and so but once Runes came out, because Magic Eden did try to dominate the BRC or compete at least with the BRC20 market, it just didn't work because Unisat was just that was theirs. That was their baby.
OKX came out. Yeah,
exactly. And then OKX came out and then pretty much started to take over, but Unisat had already made their money. They made like $100 million or whatever people said. But everything fell into place with Magic Eden once Runes came out, and now we possibly will see like a dominant NFT / ordinal platform that also offers fungible token swaps, and we haven't seen that before, and that they might actually end up dominating everything in the end because you can swap every token on Magic Eden now. Runes is coming along; it's a different type of swap, but Solana you can swap all that, Ethereum you can swap all that, right? But
yeah, I'm very bullish on Magic Eden, but I'm still pissed off at them because they're not going to let me do anything with my 177,000 tokens in this wallet right here, or diamonds, I should say. But as of right now, I don't know. So, I'm probably not going to be able to get this airdrop, which is annoying. But I guess it is what it is, and nothing we can do about it but cry. So at the end of the day, but I hope they do something for us, especially with if they move to the US. They potentially their token is
tax free.
So give us our tokens and move to the US or open up a US branch like that looks like they did with MagicEden.us. So our last thing here before we kind of get into some questions and comments, Inscribepedia. This is from our guy Jeroen. It did really well yesterday. It minted out in the FC. It never got the public. So minted out in first come, first serve. I think it was like $30-$40 for one, but there's 3,000 of these transcripts, and we go to collections. Yeah, you can kind of go, and I think they are right around here somewhere. Where are they? Season 0, Casey collection. And but there's a whole bunch of different ones, so it's not all just the same. They're different names on them. So I got to definitely take a deeper dive into this. But shout out to Jeroen. Shout out to everyone who minted this yesterday. Jeroen was an early Ordinals guys. He definitely supported Ordinals when nobody else was. He is somewhere where I go to get my daily news on Ordinals. I go to his Twitter every morning around 4 a.m. It seems like he puts out a post, which helps me because our show is later that day, and I can kind of make sure that I have all the Ordinal news for you guys. And shout out to Jeroen. Shout out to everything he does for the community. So, guys, let's do right by Jeroen. And if you're not a holder, let's hold. This is not financial advice. This is just something we do as a community here. We support each other, and I definitely want to support Jeroen in every aspect.
100%. Shout out to him. Got a chance to meet him in Singapore, although I was sick. Really cool guy. We've been on multiple calls with him, and so I'm happy for him, man. He put a lot of work and passion into this project. So
yep. All right, we get some kind of good comments or questions here.
Yeah, we have a couple. Let me get down to some. So we got Yasher. He says, from that Dante guy from Runex, I do not trust him. His project was mostly talk with no outcome. Yeah, it was. So I've never run into any problems with him, but I also didn't participate in a lot of his stuff. Yeah. I think it was a weird time for the Bitcoin ecosystem to build. It was just hard to do anything, but I see where you're coming from. Yeah, sure. 100%. And I don't blame you for feeling that way. All right. Pawon says Runes has a ticker problem. They're too long. Yeah, we've known that for a while. But the popular ones. Go ahead.
Yeah, not finished. Popular ones.
I was gonna say the popular ones kind of just adopt a shorter one as kind of like a short name or whatever.
But just so you guys know, I think it's this month. You're gonna have the 11 ticker or the 12 tickers, and then every 3 months after that. So it'll be February. You'll get the 11s, and then March, April, June. I think July you'll get, or August you'll get the 10, the 9. So by the next halving, you should be down to like 4 or 5. I think that's kind of Casey's goal, right? So get down to about 3, 4, 5 in the next bull cycle. So
Yeah. Everything he did was kind of like, you guys aren't I'm not going to give you instant gratification. You know
no,
what I mean? Which, hey, that could work out very well for the people that hung
yeah.
around and believe in it. So,
And think about it too. It's like every 3 months now, we're gonna have new tickers come in with that couldn't exist before. So let's
exactly.
just say in a year from now, we're gonna have 9 tickers, and a year after that, we're gonna have the 6-digit tickers, and then after that, we're gonna have the 3 and the 2. So and then 1. That's gonna be pretty cool. So
Yeah. All right. So Patapoo came in and said that is great for counterparty rare Pepe's OG NFTs priced in Bitcoin. Yeah, exactly. So that's why we're really bullish on Emblem. Them being able to do this jump feature, which is amazing. They use LIP protocol, but you'll learn more about that in the video. So we'll hold off on that. But yeah, I agree with you, Patapoo. Cold Deep Sing says, guys, please focus on DMT NAT. NAT equals
so
Bitcoin.
that's something that I thought about this weekend, and kind of reason why we're not doing Tap Tuesdays no more. There's a whole channel that concentrates on trashing everything else and pushing DMT and everything,
Do they
and
trash
the
everything
Tap
else?
using. Pretty much, yeah. They hate
Hmm.
meme coins. They pretty much trash everything that's not Tap and DMT. So, and I've noticed I
Interesting.
can't even watch that show no more. Honestly, I love those guys. I love them. It's just it's just hard to watch. It's just too Tap focused, and we don't want to be that, right? We want to be centered. We want to have a little bit of everything. So we're gonna show news and updates of everything DMT and that and stuff. And we have a partner who is over there, and their mint is live over there. So we definitely will do that, but only when there's news. We're not gonna like force it like the Black Runner does. So
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's
yeah.
their
I mean,
project. I mean, I'm not saying
yeah.
it's bad. I'm just saying
Yeah.
it's just hard for it's
I
just
don't know.
too
I have
focused.
to. I need to give it a little watch. I haven't seen an episode of theirs in a while, so I'll kind of
It
give my
yeah.
assessment of it. But I understand. I don't want to say I understand if they do that, but they're gonna be naturally focused on that because
Yeah,
they're building their
100%.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
blaming him. I'm just saying
yeah,
as a like, and that's something that with Francis as well. When his project drops, he's going to be naturally focused in that area, which is fine. But as somebody who's just wants to know news of the ecosystem, and somebody who just wants to hear like someone's opinion and stuff like that, it's hard to listen to those guys when they're so focused on their own project. And I think that's what's going to make Ordinal Revolution the best podcast in this entire space, is because we have partners from all aspects, and we tried to guide
that is
everyone to the
100%
best assets.
fact. If you
Yeah,
look at our Web3 partners at the top, we got
and that's on
ICP,
purpose. Yeah,
EVM, Bitcoin Layer 2, Layer 1, Tap.
yep.
Someone that came over from Cardano that's building a Layer
And
1
same
now.
thing,
So
we love Merlin, but we're not gonna force that on you guys,
yeah,
right? We'll give you the news and aspects of that stuff. We'll teach you how to bridge there, but we're not gonna toss it down your throat the way that the Block Runner does with DMT. But that's fine though, because it's their project, so it's different. But their channel now is a DMT
yeah.
channel, and the way they do trash everything else, they hate runes and stuff like that. So, and BRC, they hate BRC20s, but they say they support it. But if you listen to them carefully, you can just tell where their identity lies.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna give it a listen and kind of give my opinion
I'm
later.
sure
But
you'll come out with the same conclusion that I have.
we'll see. But anyways, he says DMT NAT. So that was a token that was popular though at one point, very, very popular, but then it kind of fell off. And I don't like the tokenomics of it at all. But they said that they're switching the tokenomics now, right?
Yeah, so they had Benny on Saturday, and guys, I do listen, right? So I'm not like giving an opinion that's not educated. Like I've watched every episode since probably launch. But Benny came on there and said they're going to be, well, they asked Benny if this was possible, and Benny said yes. They're gonna, instead of allowing you to mint these new tokens, you will now be able to the new tokens will just go to the miner that minute that block. So let's just say and what is it? Was it Ant Miner? Let's just say they minute that block, they will receive the tokens and not even know they have the tokens, right? So they're kind of holders of it, and until they figure out how to use DMT, they're not going to sell it. But who knows? One day they might have $1 million in DMT tokens after a year, and they might, hey, how can I dump these things? And that's not good for the holders either, right? So,
Well, it depends on how popular it gets, right?
well, they can
So,
go into the swap and empty it out in the swap.
well, my point that I'm making is that like it would be good for the first, like, I guess until that token gets extremely popular. Once
Yeah,
that token gets
exactly.
extremely popular, and there's going to be words going around the miner community of hey, this is how it works. That's whenever I think the huge dumps would come. So
Yeah.
you would have some
Hey guys,
time for kind of the supply to
yeah.
catch up, I think.
100%. But in a year from now, when there's liquidity pools for DMT, they don't care about
Yeah,
dumping the price.
they want
They're going to get
Bitcoin.
as much Bitcoin out of that LP as they possibly can in one shot.
Yeah, I agree on that. All right, let's see. Oh, this was an interesting one from Sixes. He says, if bitmaps are running, won't parcel distribution be digital gold? How this isn't minted out? So I think we're still got to figure out like what's going to be like that huge demand for bitmaps. There's obviously infrastructure communities and stuff like that. The infrastructure part needs to be fully still solidified though. If bitmap does get stronger, I do think that what you're saying here could be true, but we're just too early right now. And I think it was super forced by Blockwork. That's one thing for sure. That was forced by them like months and months ago. We're talking about before DMT wasn't even an idea. They had a platform where you could parcel out, which it did horrible because it was way too early. You know what I mean? Like we didn't even figure out like applications yet for bitmap, but there are builders now with like bitmap.game and the bitmap avatars, those guys, J-Rod and, the bitmap avatars, what's his name? Trillionaire. Yeah. Those two guys, they are builders, but we're just too early for this stage. What do you think?
Yeah, 100%. I hate parceling. I think it's stupid. I think, so let me rephrase that. I think it's stupid for now. We're just not big enough for that yet. I do think that day does come. But right now, I just don't think it's worth even exploring or pushing too hard. I think that you should I want to hold the bitmap token because there's rumors of things happening with it. So that's kind of where I am with bitmaps. I think it's the token where you can get on Unicross, you can trade one bitmap for 10,000 of these tokens. I think that is where bitmaps are going to be most notable, I guess you could say.
Well, so I agree that part of the utility for bitmaps is cool and it's going to create demand, but you still need the demand on layer 1 and also other areas to create people to even want to have the token as well. But I think that happens, right? So they can work in unison. The more of these little things like the Unicross transferring it into tokens, bitmap.game, the more impactful or powerful they become, using your bit miner on your bitmap, stuff like that, that will drive demand up and those tokens will do better, so I think we're about at least 6 to 9 months away from parceling at a minimum.
Yeah, I agree.
To have success. All right, Kenta says, are you bullish on Butoshi as of now?
No.
I don't know. I'm a little bit more bullish after our talk with Emblem yesterday, though.
Yeah.
The AI part. So, look, we love Butoshi. He was on our show. Yeah. We caught him after a night of partying at a rave when we first had his first interview, remember? But cool guy, and he's been here since the start. So that you got to hand to him. I do think he tried to push some narratives though, just because they were in the inner circle, like the Wenko Manko and stuff like that. I mean, I'm a holder of that. I want to make money off of that, but like it did seem like it was. Now it wasn't as hard pushed as like Dog has been for centralized exchanges, but I am a little bit more bullish on him now because of the AI part of things. I think he could possibly build something great, and he might be doing something with Emblem, but we'll see. He says the Butoshi's previous project may have flopped a bit, but are you still bullish on him? His project before with the Bitcoin boost, that's an early inscription project. So that's not going to come. Yeah, it's not going to come back until hype wise until we're in the collector's phase of our ecosystem, which might be right before Q4 of 2025. But I think that those are going to be historically like high value eventually because they're early. He's in that inner circle and stuff like that. So. All right, we got Matt. He says, "Nah, you were wrong there, Shizzy. You have to see a new episode of the Block Runners."
What do you mean, Matt? Explain. I know you haven't. You're a Nat Cat, but you gotta admit, dude, they're DMT focused. I mean, every episode. I mean, besides like the episode with the interviews and stuff like that. I mean, and their opinions are skewed, right? So whenever they're talking about anything, it's all usually negative.
Kaifex says, "I see what you mean, Shizzy. Realistically, the space is growing so much. It's probably good to focus on." I think he meant to finish that on everything. Adopted by Bitcoin says the token for bitmap should be Bitcoin. I disagree. I mean, that's how you sell them right now. You transform them into Bitcoin on layer 1, but
so the bitmap tokens are backed by bitmap. So that's the special part about the bitmap token.
Bitmap is the strong asset.
It's not a meme. It's backed by something. It's 1 or 10,000 to 1. You trade 10,000 tokens to 1 bitmap. So it's that's what makes it special. The bitmap token is it's backed by that, and it's able to be put in LP pools, staked, and other projects can come now and fulfill stuff with that token. It's really cool. I think it's a really cool idea.
Yep. I agree. And then Matt comes in and says, "Mole call, guys." He meant to say roll call. You missed it, but we still got you. GM Matt. Okay, one last question here. It's from Kenta. He says, "What's both of your realistic targets for Wizard market cap, and what do you think will happen around migration?" So, let me see. What was the highest it got to on BRC20? I know it was high, 100 million.
It's hard to say because I used to value it in sats. I think was it $100 million?
Yeah, it was high, man. So it's $9.56 at 21 million right now on Unisat's marketplace. So
yeah, man.
Hold on, let me find out what that is right now. Because right now it's down, but I know it was competing with pups before, right? Remember?
Yeah.
It used to compete with pups quite a bit.
Yeah.
So it's right now. Okay, this is not realistic. It says $200 million market cap. No way that, because I'm sure the volume. Let's see what the 24-hour volume is. Hold on, let me see. I mean, dude, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sales right now. 7.
Yeah.
This is today.
Well, there you go.
Holy crap, bro. 8, 9. So this must be connected to Taproot Wizards.
Yeah, of some kind. Yeah.
If it is, bro, that's so lame of Udi trying to crap on runes with catnip. And then he migrates this BRC20 over. Look, $200 million market cap. There's buys right now. It's about to go over the runes. I think that the Taproot team is buying these up, honestly. I don't know. I could be completely wrong, but I think they're buying them up, getting this market cap hyped, bringing it over to runes because they don't want to miss this runes run up because they're not going to have catnip's not going to be ready, especially if it's going to take 12 months.
100%.
So, but it's smart. It's smart business.
Yeah. I just want to hit on a couple things here. So, Shonuff says typically working, but watch every video for 2 years. Yeah. So I used to be that guy. Just have an earpiece in my ear. I was a CNC machinist, and I would just listen to YouTube all day. So I know exactly what you mean, man. Thank you so much. And Rick G hit him with he's a legend. GOB. So shout out to you. I'm guessing you're a gob as well. So, and then a couple guys came in late for roll call, but I'll jump you guys in. You got Sammy Turnpike in there, right down the street. I love saying that. And then we have Renstorm Music. He says working late tonight, but you guys in my left ear. Yeah, see that's the definition of what we want the show to be. We want the show to be for the average person to just make sure you're caught up each and every day. There's a lot to go on, and you guys have families, you guys have things to do, and we want to be that earpiece in your ear to kind of let you guys know and make sure you guys are fully caught up on what's going on in the space. And that's what we want Ordinal Revolution to be. That's what this is. That's what the whole concept of our show is. And we're just glad that you guys are using it in the way that we purposely are doing the show, right?
Yeah.
So every single day, every aspect of the ecosystem that you need to know on a daily basis.
Yeah, we got a couple more things here, questions here.
Yep.
So I forgot we didn't answer this question. So realistic targets from the Wizard market cap. If it's 200 million right now, I think it takes a little bit of a pullback after migration. Maybe it goes down to like 120, 130. But if Taproot is behind this, Taproot Wizards, then I think that they're definitely trying to make it a top 5 rune, which that means liquidity is going to get fragmented even more. But we'll see.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I can see this at it's 5 billion, right? So that's what, 5x, 10x, 25x. I mean, potential. I mean, if Udi's behind it and just the Wizards token, then
You're
yeah,
talking
I mean,
about like in the spring or
I'm
next
talking
year, yeah.
12 months from today,
Yeah,
13 months from today.
I think migration will be fine. There's been multiple runes migrations, but I'll tell you this: if you are a Wizard holder, pay attention to that, because I'm telling you, they're going to have a cutoff date, and then you're going to be like 6 months down the line complaining like a lot of these pups holders did when they didn't migrate their tokens.
100%.
Adopted by Bitcoin says, I see your logic you're explaining, but won't using BTC and finding a way to create value from it from within is best for Bitcoin? Well, I think right now we're trying to find what's best for Bitmaps first, because Bitmaps needs to build more, I guess, like attractiveness to its as an asset, right? And I think that having it like on Merlin, and then also possibly another scaling solution, like let's say someone utilizes it for Arch Network or maybe even Tap, and then Foxy has it. These are ways to make Bitmap, the asset itself, more attractive, and then in turn Magic Eden's floor price is going to jump up in terms of how much it costs anyway. So I think,
well, the thing is, so what's good for Bitcoin is fees, right? The more fees, the more mining, the more security on the network, right? So what is good for Bitcoin is more transactions. And how can Bitmaps create more transactions should be the question you're asking yourself, because we need to feed the miners as much Bitcoin as possibly can, but also bring value to the people that are feeding them. So we can bring value to Bitmaps, we will bring value to Bitcoin by causing more and more fees. And I think that's what the maxis don't understand, is that we are here to help the miners without giving more fees to the miners. When Bitcoin does another halving and the price of Bitcoin does not catch up to where it was before the halving, that is when it's going to get bad for the miners, and we are here to supplement their income.
Yeah, the maxis know that, by the way. Yeah. I feel like they're just like so hard-headed of their stance before. They don't want to look like they're losing the argument. But at the end of the day, like the incentive for mining is a problem. Like the proof of work incentive is a problem. And so by innovating the ecosystem, it's going to help that, especially these if you have thousands of transactions rolled up and like 5 zero knowledge protocols sending them into Bitcoin, that's good. That means that the chain's being utilized, and then that's the incentive for miners to continually secure the chain.
100%.
Yep.
Get into that Caspa thing, I have a couple questions. Maybe you can answer, Rex. Is Caspa UTXO? I know it's proof of work, but it should it be something we cover? Should it be in the Bitcoin ecosystem if it's a UTXO based?
I mean, if it's UTXO, then I think that we look at UTXO chains for sure. We look at the Bitcoin side chains, which some of them are EVM as well. But if it's directly has some sort of relationship with Bitcoin, and in my opinion, the reason why UTXO chains were focused on this run is because they're a part of this renaissance. They didn't have the same success other than like a meme like Dogecoin, but in terms of ecosystem wise, as the EVM chains did in 2021, but that's what this whole renaissance is about. You have Bell's coin, you have Fractal, you have Doge chain, you have Bitcoin, of course, as the main character. But so
100%.
He says, Kenta says, Bells or Wizard? Pick one. Bells. I had to pick Bells, man. Like it's $1.63. Market cap is at it was at 80 million. So a chain that has builders building on it. I mean, it's just way more upside there.
Easy. Yeah.
And then the last thing, adopted by Bitcoin says, love you guys. We love you too, man. last
Texas Gill.
Yeah, he says, why not send BTC from Xverse to Exodus, then swap for ETH or Sol, then swap for meme coin you want?
I never used Exodus.
Yeah, I never used Exodus either. But
I'll check it out. I didn't know that existed. Yeah. Thanks, Texas Gill, man. Appreciate you throwing a comment in there, man.
Yeah. Is that one of your buddies?
No, I don't know Texas. I was hoping it was one of your friends, Texas.
I'm from Texas. Yeah. Kid says Bells needs better. This is the last comment. He says like Kraken. Yeah, I think they come, but there was a funny kind of mishap that happened.
Oh my God, Gate.io.
Yeah,
we're gonna get into it tomorrow, Adam.
Yeah, we won't get too far into it, but look it up. Bells. Let's just say Gate listed the wrong bells. Let's just say that, but they're gonna get that fixed. But yeah, guys. Man, amazing questions, great comments. Yeah. I love the interaction there at the end. So
that was fun.
Yep, 364 people watching this live, and guys, you are still early. Surprisingly, there are some people that are still kind of taking their time to get back in the markets. I think they realized the dominance was so high for Bitcoin, but it has come down since we started the show. It was at 61.8, and now it's at 60.75. So it looks like it's kind of going down. But we appreciate you guys for watching us and supporting us. If you guys didn't do that, we wouldn't be able to do this full time. And so we are truly thankful for you guys. And if you do have some extra time, and wouldn't mind, check out our partners, please. BetBTC is the predictions market for the Bitcoin ecosystem. They utilize ICP and Bitcoin technology to allow you guys to deposit directly from your Xverse account after you sign up with them. Go sign up for an account. You earn 50 points right away. And these points will go towards an airdrop in the future. So as we mentioned, they're one of our picks for, one of the utility runes that will be coming in the future. So you want to airdrop hunt that as they are offering points for that. And then you have BitPerp, which is the perps and leverage DEX of the Bitcoin ecosystem. Right now, they have their testnet paper trading competition that will go live until Monday at 12 a.m. So really late Sunday night Eastern time. So make sure you make as many trades as possible. Try to get that P&L up as high as possible before that time period. All you got to do is go to bitperp.io and then connect your MetaMask, and it will automatically connect the RPCs for the testnet for B Squared, BitLayer, and CoreDAO. And if you feel like you're too far behind, it doesn't matter. All you got to do is make one trade, and you can get in the raffle to win 5,000 BTP. Next up is Ordinal Hive. They are an aggregator Ordinal marketplace on Bitcoin layer 1 and layer 2 as well on Merlin chain. If you list, if you sell, if you buy on their platform, you earn points. So it's kind of like Blur. So it's like Blur farming, right? They are also another one that's going to be launching their rune, I would say in Q1 of 2025. So make sure you're airdrop farming there. We got so many airdrop farm opportunities. It's super exciting.
Yeah, sure.
They also have amazing trader tools there with their analytics as well. You'll see what's hot on secondary marketplaces for ordinals. Foxy is building in the Bitcoin Tap ecosystem. They have the Bitverse, which is their version of Metaverse. And they also have Clan Wars, the first-person shooter game. So that is where the Satoshi Silencer, the 3 versions, the white, teal, and orange, are collaboration with Foxy. You'll be able to use it as long as it's in your wallet. It is a BRC 420. But also, you can earn tokens by mining them if you have a bit miner. They announced yesterday that their block drop for their lightsaber, which is usable in the Clan Wars, will be next week coming up. We'll have instructions for you on that. But if you don't have a bit miner, you can go get one at mscribe, and you can earn tokens. Like they did the most rare campaign with Cosmic, which is the most rare bit miner. They were earning USDT Solana as well as TAP tokens. Those are solid tokens to earn. And then they have the Ultra Mythic coming up, about to be able to earn Dog Go to the Moon, another solid token. So they'll continue these campaigns until indefinitely until they announce when they'll stop. But you'll always be able to mine like new DMT tokens and stuff like that. And then Fluid Tokens is I would say the greatest innovator on Bitcoin Layer 1 right now, and it's because they have the experience of building on a UTXO Cardano chain before. Now they're building over here. They were the first to build stakeable vaults. Basically, you can stake runes or ordinals. So if you are an ordinals founder collection or a runes founder, and you want your members to or holders to benefit by staking and earning another rune or Bitcoin, reach out to Raul, which is the CTO at Fluid Tokens, or reach out to us. We'll get you connected. They also have a DEX where you can swap your runes. They split your runes up for you, so they make it easy, and you can check that out as well. Merlin Chain is the #1 scaling solution for Bitcoin native L1 assets and protocols. If you're a user and you want to be able to swap Doggo to the Moon with an easy swap, you can do that on Merlin Swap. If you're a builder and you want to be able to scale your protocol to make it more flexible for your users, you can do that with Merlin Chain. They have amazing builder grants. Reach out to their team. All you got to do is fill out the application. If you're serious, they'll seriously consider you. Emblem Vault and Ordinal Hive got that grant. So make sure if you are interested to reach out to their team. They have amazing builder support as well. And thank you guys so much for checking out our partners.
Yep. Thank you, sir. If you guys wouldn't mind checking out ordinalrevolution.com, we have some of the best articles dating all the way back to last year. If you know someone just entering the space, send them our website. We really feel like you can get them started and get them caught up to where we're at today. If you guys need a VPN, we have the best VPN, in my opinion. That's NordVPN. We have a 70% off coupon. Don't be traveling the web without a VPN, guys. Don't be stupid. These websites can know where you live, and then that's not good, right? So you don't want that. But if you guys going to Bitcoin Las Vegas in May, we will both be there. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. This is Bitcoin 2025. Do not wait till next year to buy your tickets. Buy them this year. I know, you might say I'm going to have a lot more money, but you're going to be paying a lot more, maybe 10x more than the prices today. So do not do that. Get your tickets as soon as possible. And if you guys need some merch for the event or any event, or just want to rock it around the house, we have some of the best merch in all of crypto. We're going to be adding new stuff this week. I'm going to be adding as much stuff I can possible. Maybe some, I don't know. What do you guys want? You guys want some gizmo? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. We can add pretty much anything. Let us know. But we appreciate you guys. We're live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 4 p.m. UTC. We appreciate every single one of you guys, man. 363 people in here right now. Love you guys. And on that note,
peace.
We OG, oh no, G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Runes is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit found fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, lock it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nookies on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me.